Supposed to be a clean show. I'm bringing this filth into it. I don't say the word sucks. Like, this sucks. I don't, because that was a very bad word in the 80s. And look, I'm sorry to say it now. My dad took us to see the first Karate Kid at the movie theater, and they said sucks in it. And right when I heard it, I looked at my dad and I go, what kind of trash you bringing us to? I was not allowed to watch anything. I mean, when they made The Simpsons, it was like, I guess they're just showing R-rated TV shows now. She does whatever she wants. She turned 18 and got a tattoo. And I was like, well, you're going to get in pretty big trouble when they find that out. And she goes, I'm 18, I can do whatever I want. I go, yeah, well, I'm 28, and I'm still hiding wine, so I don't think you can. Pardon my language, but I think it stinks what's going on. I think it stinks.
Well, as far as bear attacks, it basically said don't do what you suggested. Don't try to run from the bear. The grizzly bear, that is.
Because no one's trying it.
They said they can run as fast as a horse. And they'll catch you.
It just doesn't matter. It's the
It's the juice
Hey,
in
bear.
it out.
Shake and bake.
Barry
Shake and
Sanders could evade a grizzly bear.
Yeah.
I bet so. I bet
In his
Barry
prime.
Sanders could tackle a grizzly bear.
Well, he's a running back.
Now if you
But
yeah.
you tell me though he couldn't tackle it. You tell me Barry Sanders couldn't tackle it.
Yeah.
Come on, come on.
You sound like a guy. I feel like you slurred that too. Like, you
did.
sounded like an old drunk Dusty. That's like,
tell me best.
you tell Barry Sanders. You said Barry Sanders can't do tackle book yet, and you're like, Dusty, are you driving? Did you? Barry Sanders, you go look me in the face.
You sounded Cajun.
Right now in the face, you go look me in the eyes, face, and say, Barry Sanders, Barry Sanders, I can't tell you. Barry Sanders can't take a bear. Barry Sanders can't take a grizzly bear. Is that what you gonna tell me, right? Like, all right, Dusty, all right, buddy. This guy, something's wrong with him.
I stole a base once and thought that somehow the guy had fouled the ball back, and I ran back to first, and it confused him so much. I was on second, and I thought, oh, they fouled it back, so I started running back for about halfway there. He was like, throw it to first, and I had to slide head first into first base.
Back to the base.
And I'm back right where I was with the first base coach. And he's like, what are you doing, man? You were there. I was like, I thought they fouled it. I didn't know. So in a way, I stole two bases.
That's never happened before. You're the only one. You stole a base, then you stole it back.
The look on my first base coach's face when he saw me coming back there.
Wow.
Oh, dude. I mean, just to have to dive in, just to you have to slide to fix a problem that shouldn't be a problem. Like, you're getting back to the original. You could be like, dude, you could just stay here, man, and we wouldn't be going through this. And for you to get all the way to second, and
That's amazing.
that's like, I feel like with you end up.
The saddest part was there's like a penguin exhibit, but it's Arkansas in the summer. So it was just these penguins all huddled up, standing in front of a fan in this exhibit.
Yeah.
It was just, I was like, why are they here?
How do you say it?
Yeah, what was the exhibit?
It was penguin.
Yeah, it was different. Penguin.
That's how.
I say penguin.
I say penguin.
Penguin?
Penguin.
It's-
Maybe that's. I mean, that
Look,
sounds
you may
like
be
you sound
right.
like the guy that would run that penguin exhibit. Hey, what do you got going on here?
Penguin.
I'm just penguin. I got a couple penguins, and put a couple penguins downtown. But the other night, I bought a couple penguins.
I've never penguin.
You would seem like a
Penguin.
guy that someone that says like that sells penguins to zoos that are kind of under
I
the
don't.
radar.
How are you supposed to say it?
Penguin?
Penguin?
Yeah. What do you got back there? Got a couple penguins. One of them's all white. Is it? I ain't never seen one of
All
those.
white.
It's all white.
white.
One's all white. Doesn't have like that tuxedo jacket on? No, it doesn't have it.
I did a
How'd you get that one? He goes, "Where's it at?" It's in the front with me. It rode up with me in the front. It doesn't get too cold. It doesn't need. It's 95 degrees in Arkansas right now.
Yeah.
Got a couple. How much think a couple penguins? How much they go for? $50. And he goes, I mean, a guy like that wouldn't know how to say. Like he wouldn't know that he can make money off of it. Is he go? How much you want for about the $50?
When I was 21 months old, my mom left me standing in the front seat of a car, and I pulled it into drive and drove it into a pond.
You've been in
Really?
water and cars
Yeah.
a
A lot of
lot.
history.
I mean, I don't remember it, but that's my family talks about that story all the time. I drove through 2 barbed wire fences, went in between these trees that closed the door, and I crashed into a pond.
Oh,
And my mom can't swim. She had to run down and get me out of there. And
Yeah.
I was fine.
Did the car
Yeah.
sink?
Yeah, the car, they did total that car.
Well, when you were a baby, if that airbag would have came out, it
Oh,
would have
yeah.
been
Not
bad.
been
That
not
would've been
good.
wild.
Not good.
Yeah, that's what they say. Like the pond was the only thing that saved me. They said, like if I had hit one of those trees, I probably would have went into the windshield.
Yeah.
Were you wearing your seatbelt though when your car flipped?
No.
Were you drinking at 21 months old?
Tough to say. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
But that was
In
probably
Alabama, 21's
Yeah.
21.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that was the time where if the kid probably put a little brandy in the kid's mouth, you know,
Yeah,
calm
yeah.
it down a bit.
Yeah.
Different times.
And my mom did drink a bit
Yeah.
back in the day, so who knows?
Yeah. You remember just thinking as a 21 year old, you go, I think I could drive this car.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's what they just tell me. I walked over, grabbed it, pulled it into drive, and that's before you had to push the brake in to get it out of
Yeah.
gear.
Yeah.
Your mom watched it.
Yeah.
Dustin,
yeah. Yeah.
come on back here with that car.
Yeah.
I was in the car.
Dustin Slay. She's your full name.
yeah.
You know the trick is, you ever heard the trick that if you're heating up pizza or something, you put a cup of water in the
Yeah.
microwave with it?
You just heat
Get
up
it
the
crispy?
pizza normal, and I don't think he gets it crispy.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't.
I don't think
it's
it
not
does.
as soggy. What do you
It's-
think? This is like not based on anything?
I think it's not based on anything.
I
I think it's
never
based
heard
on
that,
someone
but
saying that on
I'm
the
not-
internet, and I think no one does it.
They,
A Reddit-
I do it
Reddit
all the
thread.
time.
You put a cup of water.
When I'm heating up stuff, yeah, you put a cup of water on the outside, not on the plate that spins, but put it
Okay.
in there.
So you bought a microwave that has extra room. Where does this cup fit? I mean, I don't
No.
know. I mean, you move the couch out
Do
of the
you
microwave
have-
and then set your
Do you have a cylindrical microwave, or is it a rectangular prism?
What do you mean, a circle? Do I have a circle microwave?
You open up the microwave.
Yep.
The interior is a rectangle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect
And
square.
there's a plate that's
That's a
circular.
circular, yeah.
So there's going to be a little room in the corners.
Not for how big? What's your cup? How big's your
a
cup?
little shot glass.
Yeah, I'm not putting a stein in there.
What are you
but I'm
putting in a
putting
shot glass?
No, maybe a little juice glass or something like that.
You can fit a juice glass in your microwave, dude. That's crazy. You can't. There's no way.
What appliance do you think has the longest lifespan?
Name brand or actual like
No, just the actual appliance.
Clients.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go. I'm
I
gonna
don't know
go.
if anybody thought he was thinking name brand, but I mean, out of all,
Maytag.
there's. I mean, I just said how many. There's so many people listening to this podcast, and I would think you were the only one
It could be.
that thought Maytag. Were you going to say
Whirlpool?
Maytag?
I
Or
would,
you
no,
gonna
I
s-
don't know. I would say Maytag, but like LG or
Yeah.
something like that. I like a good LG appliance.
Samsung.
I would say toaster.
I think
So-
a toaster feels fragile to me. Doesn't it?
I was kind of thinking of toaster too.
Here's my microwave.
Well, let's ask this though.
Yeah.
Is it of all time or things they're creating today?
I think today.
I think it's a
Okay.
general.
What are you talking about?
Well, things used
Well,
to
are we talking
last
about
longer.
cotton gins?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about stuff.
used
that
to last
exists.
longer.
We got a first time listener here, Dusty. Pretty basic stuff we talk about. No one's getting in the weeds of this. I kind of in my head I was thinking toaster just because that's all I can think of is toaster. But
I've never heard of a microwave on the fritz.
I've never heard of a toaster going.
But I think you lose a toaster, you misplace it, like you,
Well,
re-
but
you
what, I mean,
replace.
but now you're getting it. We're not talking. We're not talking about like you moved and you lost a toaster. You buy a house and you get microwaves usually in a house.
That's what I'm saying. It's one's just left over.
I know microwaves. There's a lot more to it. A toaster there's not much to it.
Yeah, you're proving my point. I think it's a microwave.
All right, what is it?
Dishwasher.
Really?
That can't be true.
I don't
Thank
believe.
you.
I don't believe.
I feel like dishwashers are what get replaced the most.
Yeah.
No, the average woman lives to be 80, 85 years old.
Yeah.
I'd like to apologize to absolutely no one.
Yeah.
This is what marriage feels like. What it feels like in here right now. Just one person talking, the other's like, "I'm gonna get out of here." I always get home late doing comedy, and my wife will be asleep. So I'll go in, I fix something to eat, I watch TV. I'll be home for like an hour, and I'll just hear her from the bedroom. She'll be like, "Nate, is that you?" It's like, you better hope to God it's Nate. You have let some murderer get quite comfortable in this house. He's eating, you know? They asked him, how long did you go to school to be a surgeon? You know, and he's like 54 years or whatever. It's like and they asked me, they're like, how long to be a comedian? I was like, you're good now. So, look, finish elementary school, make your parents happy, but then I'd get out and get after it. I'm married, I'm still married, and thanks, yeah. I like to say it, you know, like I'm at the same job, just like, yeah, no, still work there. Yeah, right out of high school, only job I applied for. My wife will tell me that she always says that I don't like the way she talks, and it's not her voice. I like the sound of her voice. That'd be a big problem, I think, if it was like, it's your voice. I just hate it. Just to go to couples therapy and be like, can you hear it right? Like, it's not, you know, it's not fun. It's the information that she chooses to tell me at times. We took a trip to Florida, to Fort Lauderdale, and her and our daughter are flying from Nashville, where we live, and I'm flying from Detroit. We're meeting at Fort Lauderdale's airport. I have to find them when they land. So I called her because I was about to take off, and I was like, all right, what time do you guys leave? She goes, noon. And it was 11:30, and they're still at home. I was like, Laura, I don't know if you even know what an airport is. But if that plane was in our driveway, I don't think you could make it. And she said, that's what time we leave for the airport. Our flight's not till 1:30. And I was like, all right. So what do you think I wanted to know when I asked that? Is that what you thought the best time you could give me was a time that means nothing to nobody? What time did you go to bed last night? Just tell me that, and I'll just look up all the planes that land in Florida, and I'll guess which one I think you're on. She said, I'm sorry I don't talk the way you want me to talk. I'm like, I want you to talk like a regular person, all right? Like you've been around people before, you know? We didn't talk in Florida, I'll tell you that. She's good at not talking to me. She can go a long time. She could do her whole marriage career. Marriage fights are great because they're all very dumb. I would say 90% of them are dumb. 10% the cops show up. But we got in a fight once over chocolate milk. We didn't talk for 24 hours. What happened is I brought chocolate milk home, and she was like, why did you bring it home? And I was like, you're supposed to drink it after you work out. And she was like, that's not true. And I was like, well, there's a commercial on TV. They probably looked into it more than you did. So I decided to listen to them. And she said, that's just the milk people pushing chocolate milk. And I was like, you don't even know what that statement means. You don't know if there's milk people. And I think chocolate milk's doing fine. I don't think they're sitting on barrels of it. And they're like, we got to make up a lie. We got to get rid of this chocolate milk. She went to college, all right, and I did not. But she did not study chocolate milk. When is it good and not good for you? To be fair to her, though, I do not work out. So, you know, but I was probably going to start, and I needed to get all this stuff there. Do you ever get in those fights? Like you'll be at home, like you and your spouse, and you guys are not talking to each other, and you're in the house together, no kids, the house is quiet, and you just stay on opposite ends, and then you pass each other in the hallway. That's like the funniest part of it, because you don't live in a mansion, you have one hallway. And you just didn't time it out right, and you just have to walk by each other like strangers. You're like, oh, excuse me, sorry. Yeah, no, go ahead. She'll be watching TV, I'm like, ma'am, are you watching this? I couldn't tell, I was gonna change it if you weren't watching it. It's the silent treatment. The silent treatment is, it's a very common thing. Everybody knows what it is. I think women are just born knowing it. I don't think you're taught it. I don't think it's like, my mom did it and her mom. It's an instinct that's in us all, that we all just know. And here's what made me think of that. I rewatched the movie Sixth Sense. And I'm not trying to do a Sixth Sense joke. This is a 20-year-old movie. I also have to spoil it, but it's 20 years old. So if you don't know by now, I don't know what to tell you, you know? And don't be like, we were going to watch it tonight. We were going to go to Blockbuster on the way home, and so he's dead the whole time. And I don't know. I mean, if you haven't seen it, it's a pretty big part of it. But for those that have, think about when you watched it. When we all saw this movie for the first time, none of us knew he was dead. That was the biggest surprise we've ever seen in our life, you know? We just thought his wife wasn't talking to him for like a year. That made more sense to us than him possibly being dead. And I was like, when I watched it, I was like, what do they show him dying? Yeah. That guy shoots him with a gun. That's how the movie starts. That's how obvious they're like, hey, he's dead. And we still watched it for 2 hours, just like, I know what this guy's going through, you know? This is a movie about marriage and how hard marriage is. Yeah. Even if you get shot, it's your fault. On a sadder note of sorts, we had to put our dog down recently. And it's a tough thing to do, you know? Nothing was wrong with her. I'm just really busy right now. And she was very sick. That was a joke, all right? That was a joke, and she would have loved that joke, so don't you worry about it. That's the type of humor she had. She was a rescue. It's not your labradoodle humor, all right? It's a little darker. She was a wonderful dog. We loved her, and her name was Annie. And the reason we got her was my sister worked at a vet, and people do put dogs down for no reason. So if someone brought a dog in that was fine, they just didn't want it. My sister couldn't do it, so she would walk the dog back and then just steal the dog. I don't know the laws on all that, but I'm sure now people are finding out that their dog's still alive right now. So we got Annie. Annie was getting put down. She was a hunting dog, and she was terrible at it. And she was bred to be a hunting dog, and she was just like a misfit toy that just didn't do it. She got shot once, and it's because the guy, he would be like doing target practice, and then she'd just walk in front of the targets, and he would like hit her, and he's like, what are you doing? And she's like, what are you doing? She had no awareness about her, like the senses that dogs have. We had turkeys in our backyard once, and I let her out to go chase these turkeys, you know, retired hunting dog, figured that's fun. And we have a very normal backyard. It's not Yellowstone Park. You can see all of it at all times. I push her out, and she just pees and then comes back in the house. Never sees the turkeys. And I'm just looking at her like, you didn't feel anything? Like nothing was going? Like I sensed it as a human on the couch. I felt there was turkeys outside. You want to take just one lap around, see if... The guy used her a lot for duck hunting. So he would shoot a duck. She's supposed to run and go get it and then bring it back. So what I like to picture is he shoots the duck. She runs out, comes back, no duck. And she's like, I don't even know what we're doing. All right, I did not. A million things flew in the air when you shot that gun. And I'm supposed to know which one you hit. And the guy's just looking at her. And then she's like, you're not even the guy that I came out here with. Do you see, is there another guy out here by any chance? Our daughter would put birthday cone hats on her, and one slipped over her eye, and it was like that for 6 hours. I was just trying to see how long, like how's it accidentally not coming off? And she was just going about her day, just eating, drinking, like, yeah, I can't see all that eye no more, all right? That's the cards I was dealt, and that's okay. And then I pulled it off of her, and she's like, oh, I didn't know you were a doctor. And I'm like, I am a doctor. Just two dumb animals talking to each other. So she had skin cancer, and she would get all these spots on her. So we kept getting them removed, but it was really starting to take a toll on her, and she was older. So we knew the day was close. And our daughter, she's 6 now, but she was 5 at the time. This was her first pet. She was best friends with this dog. And it was the first thing that was going to die in her lifetime. So it's a lot of stuff to have to explain to a kid, you know? And so I was talking to my wife about, like, how are we going to tell her? And at first I was like, let's just act like we didn't have a dog. 5-year-olds are smart, but if we stick together on this, and she comes home from school and is like, where's the dog? And we're like, what dog? Like, I've never seen a dog. Don't you think I would know if there was a dog? But I read an article about the long-term damage of that. It's pretty good. So I was just honest with her. And I set her down. I said, look, Annie's very sick and she's older and she's going to die soon. This happens, so just love her as much as you can right now. And she took it as good as a 5-year-old can take it. So the next day, I kind of told her again, you got to tell kids over and over again. I kind of kept telling her. I didn't want this to be a surprise. And then Annie surprised us by living 6 months longer. I mean, we were way off on when we thought she was going to die. But I already started telling my daughter I didn't want to stop and then have to start it again. So I just kept it up for 6 months. Every day I was like, she'll die. All right, she will die. She will die. I will die. Your mom's dead. So finally the day was here, and our daughter was at school. And so my sister and my wife, they took Annie to go have to put her to sleep. And I went to go pick up our daughter to tell her. I've already been telling her. And so I picked her up. I told her. It was brutal, very sad. She took it as if this was the first she's heard about it. We get home, and my wife was like, how was it? Which is already a dumb, like, it was great. You know, I loved it. Can't wait for the next thing to die. Nice to say I told you so, you know. I told my wife it was terrible, you know. And then my wife goes, you didn't tell her that I did it, did you? And I was like, no, why would I say that? Like, I didn't even think about it, you know? Then I looked at her like, is that what you would have said, though? Would you have told her that I did it? You know how your dad's been talking with the dog dying? Well, he's finally had enough. I'm married. It's fine, you know? I've been married for 7 years, and we have a 10-month-old, so it's getting pretty serious. So I lived in New York for 8 years, and so I just moved to LA, but when my daughter was born, she was supposed to be born like when we were living in New York, but I flew home and she was born in Tennessee, because I did not want her to be born in New York. Like, I don't need her growing up thinking she's better than me. So yeah, I was like, you start where we start, all right? Our daughter is in 3rd grade. And for 1st grade, she started taking the bus. And it was the first time she ever took the bus. So if you know as a parent, you walk them to the bus stop. It's very fun. And so we got her on the bus. She went to school. At the end of the school day, someone from the school called my cell phone. They have my wife's cell phone. They have my cell phone. They called my cell phone. And she said, hey, do you know what bus number your daughter's supposed to be on? And I said, I'm her dad. As in, are you crazy? Like, I was like, this is how you thought you would get this information, was to call the dad? You saw a mom and dad's cell phone. You go, I bet the dad knows. I was like, do you have parents? Have you ever seen a family before? You thought, let's call the husband? Unless there's two husbands, you should never call a husband a day in your life. I would rather you ask a lady that doesn't know her. I think she could get to the bottom of it quicker than I can. We're at a Holiday Inn Express. So the breakfast buffet there is where they have the cereal where you turn the knob and like 4 pieces fall out. It's like how you feed a cat for a long weekend, you know? You're like, that's enough. They had batter and syrup. And so you they had the waffle iron where you make it yourself. So you pour the batter on the waffle iron, you shut it, you turn it over, it locks, it cooks for 2 minutes, you turn it over, you open it, half the waffle comes off, half stays forever. That's how you eat a waffle. So I'm with my buddy of mine that's my age. So we go through, he's in front of me, not really talking or anything, just going through. He gets to it, it's batter and syrup, they're in clear containers. They're not labeled, but they're in clear containers. He gets the syrup and starts pouring it on the waffle iron. And I'm not even stopping him because he's not doing it where he's going, I've never done that. He's doing it where we're probably going to try it after. I mean, he's just like, we're like, dude, I can't wait to see what this guy's making. Like, he might know something that I don't know. He shuts it, turns it over, it cooks. He's like looking at us. We're like, I mean, the whole line's like, yeah, what is that going to be? And it makes black smoke is what it makes. Just, I mean, dark black smoke. Just starts filling the lobby. The manager comes over. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, I guess I poured the wrong one. These are not labeled. And the guy's like, they're in clear containers. Do you not know the difference of batter and syrup? And he's like, I bet it happens all the time. He goes, I've worked here my whole life and I've never seen this. So they threw the waffle iron. They just throw it away. That's what they have to do. Just throw it away. It's over. And now there's no waffle. I mean, we went from all about to get a waffle to it's upside down in a trash can. And then he just turns and looks, and it's just a line of people with that little foam plate. And just everybody's sad. I just hear someone in the back go like, I set my alarm for this. I mean, 2 guys didn't have shoes on. They go, I ran down with no shoes in that elevator. I thought I was going to miss it. I've been doing these drive-in shows, these drive-in movie theater shows, and my buddy Nick Novicki's been with me, and Nick's a little person, very fun. We started a comedy together. Nick's very fun to be friends with. He very easy to trick. We were once at a coffee shop, and a guy was sitting near us with a big husky dog, and Nick just goes, "Hey, you think that's a wolf?" And I just said, "Yeah, I do think it's a wolf." They just passed a law that if you can catch a wolf, you can have it as a pet. And he goes, should I go ask him about it? I was like, I mean, absolutely. You know, I mean, he wants to talk about it. That's why he brought that wolf out here. And I watched him walk over to him and just go, excuse me, is that a wolf? And the guy, I mean, he didn't really know how to answer it. He said, what? I mean, you think I brought a wild wolf to this coffee shop? And the wolf's just being cool about it? It's not losing its mind right now? When we were doing these driving shows, we were all on a bus together. I convinced Nick that I didn't know who Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding were. Nick is learning this, that I do know who they are. He's learning right now with you. I never told him. I absolutely know who they are. He brought all his references are just 90s sports references. He only can reference the 90s. And so he brings up Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding, and I was like, who's that? He's like, what? You don't know who they are? And I was like, I don't think anybody knows who they are. And he goes, dude, it's like a huge story. It's like figure skating is like a mafia hit. I was like, I've never heard this, dude. Don't you think I would have heard it? I mean, I was like, no one knows this. He's like, he's losing his mind. I go, they should make a 30 for 30 if it's that good. He goes, they did. Another guy's like, they should make a movie about it. He goes, there's a movie! And he's just losing it. One of my favorite ones was, this was forever ago. We're going to a friend's house, and it was a 4-flight walk-up. And so we had to walk 4 flights. Obviously, I walk faster than Nick, and I used to wait for him, but we've just been friends too long. I can't. We're like an old married couple. I'm just gone. So I knew where we were going, and I knew that he did not. So I leave him, and I go into my buddy's apartment. I was like, Nick doesn't know where you live. So that's fun, let's just see what happens. About 30 minutes go by. Nick finally comes into the apartment, and I asked him, I was like, where were you? He goes, I didn't know where to go. And I go, I know. So, you've been gone for a long time. Did you go back outside? He goes, oh, no, I've been in someone else's apartment all this time. He went into he was just trying handles. And the door opened, he walked in, said, I'm with Nate, and went and sat on their couch. That's how far he made it. Think about where your couch is. That's how deep he made it into their place. And he's so confident, they had to be like, I don't know, maybe we know a Nate, I want to go back to school with her, not physically go back to school, but when she brings homework home, I think I need a whole nother run through. I need one more. I don't remember any of it, so I needed to be like, what are they doing? Or stuff. I don't know. She's gonna make sure she goes to college. I did not go to college. I went to a community college. I went for 1 year. I don't even have a credit, so my loan was $40. I just paid cash. I just gave the teacher cash. I was like, this is cool, and he was like, yeah, it's more than enough. I took remedial classes. That's why none of it counted. Remedial is basically when they're like, look, we really don't understand why your high school let you leave. And we're shocked about it. We're going to look into it. But until then, here are some classes you can take that affect nobody. I took math as a class. I literally bought a book and the title said math on it. I took reading as well. Reading. I drove to that class. I've driven to a reading class. I'm not even an immigrant. I'm from here. I should have knocked it out years ago. I think community college is basically just life kind of being look, you're probably going to do manual labor, all right? And that's fine. Because I would go to class, our teacher would be like, all right, everybody, so today's assignment is we're going to help me move. So... Here's what I'm doing for... my daughter's future environment is what I decided to do. They say we won't have water. So I put a bunch of buckets outside to collect water. And when she turns 18 and she's like, do I get money? I'm like, something a little better than money. I bet you've always wondered what those buckets we're doing outside. Well, they're all yours. And that's for your kids and their kids. Everybody gets a bucket of water. No, look, guys, all seriousness, though, global warming, we gotta stop it. Or more of it. I don't really know which way we want to go, but it can't stay warmer. I know that. It's gotta be one or, something's gotta happen. Something can't stay where we're at. So go, I don't know what direction you want me to just go. My body's falling apart. My shoulder hurts because I stand on stage like this. I can tell you one thing that's gone forever is coughing in public. That's a wrap. I mean, you drink water wrong at a restaurant, just go walk in traffic. The whole restaurant just stops. Your table would be like, get out of here. Get out of here. And you know who that's going to hurt the most to cough in public? My parents. That's what I feel, because that's one of their favorite things to do is cough in public. They love it. That's all they do. They cough everywhere. My dad's choking constantly. Just always, if he's not choking, that's when we get worried. That's how much choking he's doing. We go to a restaurant, and they're like, is your dad okay? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's just what he does, We've been traveling. I've been traveling all over the country during this COVID, and what I've seen is, look, in the middle of the country, they're doing good. I went to a NASCAR race. They all had their mask on. They're doing what they're supposed to do. A lot of people are doing it. We're trying, A lot of stuff. We take our temperature. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings. They took my temperature. You gonna tell me that teenager doesn't know what he's doing? Is that what you're trying to... You don't think he's going to doctor school? That's how he gets started, is he takes temperatures, and he's like, all right, 45 degrees, you're good. Yeah, you're like 60 degrees from a problem. So I don't, and they're not even worried about it. They just don't, 57 degrees. You're like, yeah, I'm dead, dude. That's not good. I asked one guy, I was like, does that even work? He goes, I don't know. When it beeps, I just tell him to go ahead. I swear one kid said beep. I don't think his beep worked, and he goes beep, and I was like, was that? And he goes, you're fine. They did a thing on 60 Minutes about, like, do you know you can buy a tiger here? Like, if you guys want to buy a tiger tonight, I could get you in touch with someone that does have tigers. I don't know if I can. You can buy a tiger here in the U.S. They did an undercover, reporting on it. And my favorite part was they asked the guy that sells tigers, they were like, so do you think it's, too easy to buy a tiger in this country? And the guy was like, yeah, it's way too easy. And you know what? That's why America's the best, all right? I didn't even know you could buy tigers. I would have been embarrassed to ask. And then I come and find out I don't really have to jump through hoops if I do want to buy a tiger. It's not an all-day thing, it's an hour. I'll be right back with our tiger. And everybody wants to take away guns, it's we gotta get everybody's guns. But then that makes me nervous, because I think if you take away guns from people, those are the exact same people that will buy tigers. And that's a much bigger problem, all right? You're probably gonna be like, look, here's your gun back. And they're like, no, I'm good, dude. My tiger is way better than my gun. My gun missed all the time. My tiger rarely misses. Even if he does miss, it's just for a second, it's never, if the guy dodges, he's like, your dumb tiger missed. It's it did not. It is right behind you now. And, yeah, he's pissed about it. So, I've seen 3 seconds of Rescue 911. I remember walking through the living room. My parents are watching it. I look at the TV. A guy has a ski mask on, and a woman is asleep with her feet out from under the covers, and he started rubbing her foot. That's all I saw. I kept walking. I don't know what happened before or after, but I know I've never been able to sleep with my feet out from under the covers because I accidentally saw that 30 years ago. And my feet get so hot, and I want to put them out so bad. I'm married. I'm still married, and thanks. Yeah. I like to say it, like I'm at the same job, just still work there. Yeah, right out of high school. Only job I applied for. My wife will tell me that she always says that I don't like the way she talks. And it's not her voice. I like the sound of her voice. That'd be a big problem, I think, if it was it's your voice. I just hate it. Just to go to couples therapy and be like, can you hear it right? It's not, it's not fun. My daughter still sleeps in our bed, too. And parents don't like that when you say it. They're like, you got to keep them outside. Don't look at them. It's my fault. So we had a kid late in life. We have one kid. And so we're kind of hitting all the sites. And when I get home, I travel a bunch, and I get home, I'd want us to all sleep in the bed together. And I've kind of built up a habit now, and it's happening. So it's tough, though, because kids don't know how to sleep. I mean, she makes king bed feel like a twin. I'm on the edge. When I sleep alone in a hotel, I have to sleep with my head on the nightstand. It's the only way I know how to go to bed. She gets sideways, upside down. If you woke up upside down tomorrow, you would go to the hospital. She's also apparently going through menopause because she's the hottest human being that's ever lived. I'm not freezing at night. She just kicks all the covers off, and you're like, yeah, no, you go ahead. It's your bed. We're lucky to be in it. She's got to get out at some point, I don't know. She'll be 37 years old. Hey, can I get in the bed with you guys? Her kids are upstairs asleep in their bed. Her husband left a while ago. He ain't gonna put up with that. Annie was getting put down. She was a hunting dog, and she was terrible at it. And she was bred to be a hunting dog, and she was just like a misfit toy that just didn't do it. She had no awareness about her, the senses that dogs have. We had turkeys in our backyard once, and I let her out to go chase these turkeys. Retired hunting dog. Figured that's fun. And we have a very normal backyard. It's not Yellowstone Park. You can see all of it at all times. I push her out, and she just pees and then comes back in the house. Never sees the turkeys. And I'm just looking at her you didn't feel anything? Nothing was going. I sensed it as a human on the couch. I felt there was turkeys outside. You want to take just one lap around, see if... And there's a guy... Marriage fights are great because they're all very dumb. I would say 90% of them are dumb. 10% the cops show up. But we got in a fight once over chocolate milk. We didn't talk for 24 hours. What happened is I brought chocolate milk home, and she was like, why did you bring it home? And I was like, you're supposed to drink it after you work out. And she was like, that's not true. And I was like, well, there's a commercial on TV that probably looked into it more than you did. So I decided to listen to them. And she said, that's just the milk people pushing chocolate milk. And I was like, you don't even know what that statement means. You don't know if there's milk people. And I think chocolate milk's doing fine. I don't think they're sitting on barrels of it. And they're like, we got to make up a lie. We got to get rid of this chocolate milk. She went to college, all right, and I did not. But she did not study chocolate milk. When is it good and not good for you? To be fair to her, though, I do not work out. So, you know, but I was probably going to start, and I needed to get all this stuff there. Do you ever get in those fights, like you'll be at home, like by you and your spouse, and you guys are not talking to each other, and you're in the house together, no kids, the house is quiet, and you just stay on opposite ends, and then you pass each other in the hallway? That's like the funniest part of it, because you don't live in a mansion, you have one hallway. And you just didn't time it out right, and you just have to walk by each other like strangers. You're like, oh, excuse me, sorry. They live in a little house together, and that is where you learn how to make drama. You get... Then you would play house. Like you would, like, fake vacuum. Just fake vacuum with your friends. And that was awesome. And it's weird, because like when I see my wife vacuum now, I'm like, she is living her childhood dream. She's made it. As a guy, we don't have any of that. What do we play Fort? You got to keep everybody out of where you are, especially girls. The only toys we had were Transformers and Ninja Turtles. Those are not even real things. None of them had wives. They weren't married. I never played with my Ninja Turtles, and I had them going to fight Shredder. And then Michelangelo was like, hey, can y'all give me 2 seconds? My wife just showed up, and she looks furious about something. What do you want from me? And she's like, what are y'all doing? What's that April skank doing here? You're like, listen, she's a reporter. I got in trouble with my wife because, like, on her last birthday, I got her an oven. All right, pretty nice oven. Take it easy. And the reason I bought an oven, because, like, I know, like the vacuum, her other favorite toy as a kid was the Easy Bake Oven. So to go with her big girl vacuum, I got her a, like, grown-up adult oven. Like, there was heart behind it. Like, that's not, you know, like, that's not impressive. If she came home and bought me a truck and it turned into a live robot, I would lose my mind. Freak out. One of the best fights we got in, the fight wasn't good, just ridiculous fight, was over the saying one fell swoop. Just over this saying. And if you're a newlywed, you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. You're right, it doesn't. This is a double-digit married fight. This is when you've already done all the dish fighting or the putting your clothes away fighting. This is when they're trying to mentally break you. They got you almost how they want you, and this is the one that sends it over the edge. So my wife, she wanted to go visit her parents one weekend, and her parents are divorced, and which has been hardest on me, to be honest. That's something people don't talk about, you know? When you marry into divorce, I mean, they divorced because of her, not me, so why do I have to go to 50 different houses? So she wanted to go visit her parents, and she said, I want to do it in one fell swoop. Now, I've never heard my wife say the phrase one fell swoop. We've been together 20 years. She's never said it. And it felt like someone that day told her, hey, you should start using one fell swoop more. And she goes, I'm about to call my husband. And goes, perfect. Use it 40 to 50 times on him. So she calls me and she goes, I want to go visit my parents and I want to do it in one fell swoop. And I go, all right, let's do it in one fell swoop. She goes, I want to do it in one fell swoop. I go, let's do it in one fell swoop. You know, let's swoop it up. I'm down. And she kept saying it, one fell swoop, one fell swoop. I mean, over and over again. And then when she went to describe this one fell swoop trip, she goes, we'll go to my mom's, come home, then go to my dad's. And so I just like waited, and she didn't say anything, and I just go, that's not what one fell swoop means. And instead of possibly just being wrong, she goes, I know what one fell swoop means. I go, yeah, it doesn't sound like you do, all right? And we have the same last name. I can't have you out there in a one fell swoop conversation. What do you think two birds, one stone mean? Let's just go through them all. I don't know if you know any of these. She hangs up on me. So I get home, and you know when you walk home and you've been in a fight, and you're like, all right, how long is this fight? Is it happening still? Is it over? I don't know. I got to fill it out, you know? She never uses words like sorry. I'd love to hear that. I mean, that's a word she definitely doesn't know what it means. And I say it all the time. I walk around the house with just a sack of sorries, just handing them out all day. I try to give her some, like, would you like to carry some of these? She's like, I don't have pockets, so I'm good. We didn't talk that whole night. I mean, we're just sitting there, our daughters, like, we're watching TV, eating, and I'm like, hey, do you know your mom's crazy, right? And she's like, did you do your homework, or you don't want to be dumb like your dad? And then your daughter's just like, are y'all lunatics? So I'm laying on the couch, and my wife just came over, and she kisses me goodnight, and then she went to bed. And that was it, you know? That was like, I felt like it was her sorry, I guess. But she didn't say it. And so I was like laid there, and I'm just thinking about it. And you think about it a lot because you're like, all right. Because you learn the longer you get married, sometimes it's like, just let stuff go. You know, who cares? And the next morning I get up, and I kind of still wanted to talk about it. Because we didn't talk all night, you know? So I went into her, I was like, look, I got to tell you, I mean, it's just not what it means, you know? And that got it going real good. But I felt so good about this argument, you know? I thought about it all night. I was like, you got this one in the bag, man. You should bring it back up. I'm not trying to date her anymore. I'd like to win a fight. We're going to die together. I almost woke her up in her sleep. That's how much I was so excited. I almost just started shaking her going, it's not what it means. Our marriage almost ended in one fell swoop. So she runs everything because she knows everything. Like, I don't know any stuff. Like, I don't know how much money we have. Like, could not even ballpark it. I don't even know where it's at. And I don't even know how to get it if I had to get it. What bank we go to? I don't know. Like, you know, I can't get robbed because, like, if some guy's like, let's go to the ATM, you know, it's like, well, I guess we gotta wait for my wife to get here. She can't leave me because I wouldn't know how to get stuff, you know? Like, she can't even die. If she starts dying, I'll die so much faster than her because I don't know what to do. Like, I don't have to call her mom and be like, hey, did she ever bring up bank stuff to you at all? Did you ever talk about that? Or what did she do for a living? Do you know? What was her deal? Me and my wife fight a lot, like normal, you know, like normal fighting. It's easy to fight when you're married, I think. Marriage and prison are the two easiest places to start to fight. Everybody's really tense and on edge. You know, no one remembers why they got there. My wife will get mad, like, when I hang out with my buddies. She's always like, oh, you always have so much fun with your friends. You always laugh with them a lot. You know, you never laugh that much with me. It's like, yeah, I hang out with professional comedians. It's a pretty good time, you know? Like, they make jokes, new jokes every day. She doesn't make jokes ever. She makes a lot of lists. She does do lists, though. I mean, someone be like, you want to try this? And I got to get her involved? I'm like, I don't think so. I don't know how long to microwave something. I have to ask her every time, as if her family invented the microwave. My wife and I, we met at Applebee's. And before I ever started comedy, I was a host and she was a server. And someone asked her recently, they said, hey, do you think, did you ever imagine when you started dating that your lives would become all that it's become? And she said, well, when I met him, he was a host, and I didn't think he was smart enough to be a server. So, yeah, we've got a little bit farther than I expected, you know? I told her I want to be a server one day, and she's like, you keep dreaming that dream, all right? I think if you try hard, you can get that menu memorized. So I'm the dreamer of our group. You know, I feel like in a marriage, you have one of you is a dreamer. You know, money's not real. Let's have fun. Let's go do fun stuff as much as we can. And the other person hates fun. And that's how you make a marriage. You can't have two dreamers. You're going to be homeless in an hour. You need someone that just walks around. Is fun happening? I'd like to put a stop to that. Are y'all having fun? Stop it. Is the air conditioner on? Turn it off. I married my dad, is who I married. My dad, who I thought air conditioning cost $100,000 a day to run it. When we would be on car rides, I thought if you turned it on, your car exploded. Like just gas, you were out. We're out immediately. Did someone turn the air conditioner on? My wife's always around too. I feel just always like near, you know, especially about home. It's like I married a cat that I'm like, you just always on me. If I do if I go to the bathroom, she's like, I'm gonna paint the bathroom door while you're in there. You couldn't do it later? No, I had all the time to do it. I thought I'd wait till you went in, and that's when I was gonna start. If I eat something she doesn't approve of, she just pops up, man. I mean, I'll try to sneak it. I could eat an Oreo cookie in the attic at 3 a.m., and I would bet my life a light would cut on, and she'd be like, what are you doing up here? And if I questioned it, it was like, what are you doing up here? She's like, I'm always up here. This is when I do my attic stuff. She put Life 360 on my phone. That's so they can track you even when they're not near you. You might not even know you have it on your phone. It's worse than what the government's doing. I would rather the government track me than her. She just calls me, why are you at Krispy Kreme donuts? I'm like, look, I'm not gonna live like this, all right? If I want donuts, I'm not gonna lock my phone in a gym locker and go pay cash for donuts. I've done it, but I'm not gonna do it every time. God forbid I go to a store she has a coupon for. I mean, I'll be walking into the parking lot just to get a call. Don't buy anything, I have a coupon. I'm like, do you think I'm gonna come home and get that coupon? Is that what you think's about to happen? I'm gonna try to pay more now that you called. I don't even know if Target allows that, but I'm gonna try to negotiate up on this toothpaste. You better hope they don't ask me to round up. I'm rounding up. I hate coupons so much, and she's addicted to them. She will not let me leave. Like, I got a coupon. I'm like, I just feel so stupid. I'm buying deodorant, and I'm like, I don't have all the money, but I'm almost there. But I do have this coupon. One day, I hope to be able to pay full price. We are saving up as much as we can. We took a trip to Florida, to Fort Lauderdale, and her and our daughter are flying from Nashville, where we live, and I'm flying from Detroit. We're meeting at Fort Lauderdale's airport. I have to find them when they land. So I called her because I was about to take off, and I was like, all right, what time do you guys leave? She goes, noon. And it was 11:30, and they're still at home. I was like, Laura, I don't know if you even know what an airport is. But if that plane was in our driveway, I don't think you could make it. And she said, that's what time we leave for the airport. Our flight's not till 1:30. And I was like, all right. So what do you think I wanted to know when I asked that? Is that what you thought the best time you could give me was a time that means nothing to nobody? What time did you go to bed last night? Just tell me that, and I'll just look up all the planes that land in Florida, and I'll guess which one I think you're on. She said, I'm sorry I don't talk the way you want me to talk. I'm like, I want you to talk like a regular person, all right? Like you've been around people before, you know? We didn't talk in Florida, I'll tell you that. If you go to Europe, just so you know, it's the most old. It's very old. You think we're old, and you get there, and you're like, good night. What have y'all been doing over here? You just walk around, they're like, that building is from 8. You're like, good golly. By 6 p.m., it's like, how are people out? Why won't the sun go down? I was all remedial classes. It's like, they don't care. First memory of my life is I was 5 years old, and I remember my mom walked me out to the front yard, and my dad pulled up with this old red Mazda. He's dressed as a clown. That doesn't even faze me. That's just how he left. How else would he come home? And the Easter Bunny was in the passenger seat. That's the first thing that I remember to my life. If you want to know how you get into comedy, that's a pretty good nudge. I got in trouble with my wife because, like, on her last birthday, I got her an oven. All right, pretty nice oven. Take it easy. And the reason I bought an oven, because, like, I know, like the vacuum, her other favorite toy as a kid was the Easy Bake Oven. So to go with her big girl vacuum, I got her a, like, grown-up adult oven. Like, there was heart behind it. Like, that's not, that's not impressive. If she came home and bought me a truck and it turned into a live robot, I would lose my mind. And this old man walks up to me and goes, Olivia? He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on at a car that he does not recognize. None of this is enough to not make him say it. He was like, Olivia? I covered up, and I was like, what's that? And he was like, all right, honest mistake. I was like, God, that hurts worse than saying Olivia. I don't know who he offended more, me or Olivia. I think we could both have a word with him. I'd love to meet her, though, I'll tell you that. Do you ever get in those fights, you and your spouse, and you guys are not talking to each other, and you're in the house together, no kids, the house is quiet, and you just stay on opposite ends, and then you pass each other in the hallway? That's like the funniest part of it, because you don't live in a mansion, you have one hallway, and you just didn't time it out right, and you just have to walk by each other like strangers. You're like, oh, excuse me, sorry, yeah, no, go ahead. She'll be watching TV. I'm like, ma'am, are you watching this? I couldn't tell. I was going to change it if you weren't watching it. On a sadder note of sorts, we had to put our dog down recently, and it's a tough thing to do. You know, nothing was wrong with her. I'm just really busy right now, and she was very sick. That was a joke. All right, that was a joke, and she would have loved that joke. So don't you worry about it. That's the type of humor she had. She was a rescue. It's not your labradoodle humor, all right? It's a little darker. My parents are getting older. So my mom, we had her go pick up our daughter recently at a friend's house, and I texted her the address. She drove to the wrong house. So she knocked on the door, another grandmother answered. Well, this is not good. This is like two dogs seeing each other through a fence. They're going to be there for a while, you know? So my mom, she knocks on the door. My mom goes, is my granddaughter in there? And that lady goes, I have 3 grandsons, so no solution. Just 2 grandmothers. Just, do you have stuff? I have stuff too. They talked for 30 minutes. It's a wrong door. I had to go get my daughter, then find my mom. God forbid I go to a store she has a coupon for. I mean, I'll be walking into the parking lot, just get a call, don't buy anything, I have a coupon. I'm like, do you think I'm going to come home and get that coupon? Is that what you think's about to happen? I'm going to try to pay more now that you called. I don't even know if Target allows that, but I'm going to try to negotiate up on this toothpaste. You better hope they don't ask me to round up. I'm rounding up. I hate coupons so much, and she's addicted to them. She will not let me leave. Like, I got a coupon. I'm like, I just feel so stupid. I'm buying deodorant, and I'm like, I don't have all the money, but I'm almost there. But I do have this coupon. One day, I hope to be able to pay full price. We are saving up as much as we can. Like a lot. Like she asked me recently if I would take a bullet for her. And look, here's the deal with that. For starters, she runs with a pretty rough crowd, so it's probably going to happen. Now, I did tell her yes, but like, honestly, the reason I said yes was like, you know, how fast is a bullet? Oh, it's like fast, right? Like, you don't hear a gun go off and you're like, oh, I should get over there and get in front of that, right? Like, all I gotta do is like, she'll get shot, then I'll just dive like right after she gets shot. So like I'll dive, and then I'll be like, did I get it? I'll feel around. Look, I know her, all right? She's gonna be mad at me about it. She's always mad. And she's like, no, you didn't get it, like you get nothing. I'm like, oh, great, she's starting a fight. That's what she's doing. So I'll be like, well, that wasn't reasonable to ask me to do. Did you ever think of that? Yeah, it's a bit unrealistic, all right? How fast do you think I am? If you want to ask your spouse to protect you, like a realistic question, you should ask like, hey, would you take a sword for me? That's much more realistic. You're going to see a sword. If you ever get stabbed by a sword, you knew you were near a sword for at least half an hour. No one pulls a sword out. You're like, I didn't know you had that sword. No, we all knew. Everybody knew, all right, sword people are the worst. That's just the way it goes. Here's the bad part, too. If someone did break into our house, like I don't have a gun to protect us. You don't have a pocket knife. That's all I have. That's going to do nothing. I could hope to aggravate him at best. I would like cut him and be like, you just ripped my shirt, and then we'd kill both of us. That's best case scenario. with a pocket knife. Because I don't know how to use this knife in the middle of the day, much less I'm going to wake up out of a dead sleep and have some kind of knife skill I've never had before. So what we do is me and my wife, we have to sleep strategically in our bed to prepare for an attack. So now, she really doesn't know it's a strategy. She just thinks she's closest to the door to be away from the air conditioning. But there's much more to it than that. So she's here. So the plan is like the guy's gonna come in, right? And she's gonna lunge at him. Now, she might go, yeah, it felt like a push. Well, it's not. It's not a push. It's the very beginnings of a lunge. So I need to let her know, hey, by the way, I have a strategy I didn't tell you about. This is the beginning of it. You gotta go. So she will lunge. Now, she's from Alabama. She's pretty scrappy. She'll put up a good fight. I know she will. At least a good enough fight that I can be practicing with my knife on my side. I like stab at pillows with it. So when he gets to me, I'll be like, I don't know if you looked over here while you fought my wife, but like that used to be one whole pillow. So sure. My wife gets mad because I don't like any of her photos. She's like, why don't you like any of my photos, you know? And it's like, is this not enough, us living together and stuff? I don't. And I did like it. When we took it, I said I like it. I told you I like it. I looked at it. I'm in it. I'm in the photo. There's not much more I can do with this photo. We've been together my entire life. Since we started dating when I was like 21. I'm 37 now. And like I went from like my mom to her. So I don't even know what it feels like to not have some lady be like, I don't know if I would do that, you know. And now we have a daughter, so I'll never know. I'll never know. We drive up, we park, and we're walking up the trail. So we're going up it halfway. I mean, I can barely breathe. And this couple's coming down, so I stopped them. I was like, hey, is this enough where we're at? You know, is this like, you get it? Like, we're not trying to live on this mountain. And the lady goes, I'm 75 years old, and I did it. And I was like, all right, maybe that's why you didn't hear the question that I asked. Everybody's pretty cocky on the way down. I mean, there was women with babies. They had 3-month-old babies strapped to their chest. I was like, why would you bring that much extra weight with you? I left my wallet in the car. They looked exhausted. I'm surprised they're not just babies left up there, and rangers have to come down. Whose baby's this? That's ours. We're gonna let it grow up and come down on its own. So me and my buddy, we rented a car. He's driving. On the way out there, I see a dead horse just laid out in this guy's yard. And I've never seen that before. And I was like, man, I bet you don't think about that when you buy a horse, it dying. You know, what do? That's a huge thing, dying in your yard. You can't just scoot it off into the woods with your foot and try to get another one that matches before the kids come home. You have to tell your wife to keep the kids away for a month. You got to Google how to move a dead horse. You got to probably try to get another horse to help you do it. And that's not easy. That's what the blinders were invented for, because it's like, just look ahead. Don't worry about what's going on back. No, look. Or you got to get your friends to help you do it, and you can't spill the beans too quick on that. You think it's hard for them to help you move a couch? Try a dead horse. You got to lie to them, like, we're getting a divorce. Just come over. Bring your truck and some gloves.